Hi guys, Chris with Coldbreak here with another customer question. We've recently been getting a lot of questions on how to properly store a keg once you've used it or tapped it at an event and then you want to use it the next day. So without going into too many details about draft systems and kegging, I'll give you like a brief overview using this kind of mini setup here. Use your imagination. I'm going to use a small 2-gallon keg here, but this keg could be any size, whether you're tapping a half barrel or a quarter barrel, 6 barrel, ball lock keg, whatever you're tapping here. Size does not matter. So use your imagination here, just using this as a tabletop example. But let's say you've received a keg from a liquor store, right? You bought a keg or you picked one up from a brewery, and what you may or may not know is that keg is set to a specific pressure to maintain the carbonation level of whatever's inside here. So beer is typically 10 to 12 PSI, so that's what you're gonna get it at. And if I'm someone that owns a kegerator or I am a brewery owner and the guys in the back have made the beer and they've kegged it and now I'm gonna tap it in my tap room or I'm gonna put it into my kegerator, it's tapped with a balanced system, meaning that when I connect my beer coupler and I go to my faucet, that system maintains that pressure in order to keep the carbonation level the same. Jockey boxes are different. It's a long draw draft system shoved into a tiny cooler. And what happens is, in order to get the beer or whatever liquid you have in here through the system and through the coils, you have to jack up the PSI. So we're gonna tap this with a 50-foot coil. This is going to be tapped at 25 to 30 PSI, meaning you're taking your 10 PSI keg to 25 to 30 PSI, which means you're overcarbonating your keg. You're adding a lot of pressure here. So at the end of the day, if you just uncouple your beer coupler, right? So if you tap it, you're at the end of the day and you unhook it and pull it off, this keg is still at 30 PSI. If you leave it that way, that liquid that's inside will absorb that CO2 in after 12, 24 hours, after a short amount of time, that liquid's just gonna absorb all that CO2 and you're gonna wind up with an overcarbonated beer. So when you go to tap it the next day, you're just gonna get nothing but foam at the faucet. So the questions we get a lot is, how do I store this keg if I'm gonna use it for the next day? Well, there's no trick to it. All it is you've gotta take this 30 PSI keg and you got to drop it back down to 10 PSI. So that's what we're going to do here. I've got water in here just as an example. And I thought I had a pitcher here, but I don't. I'm going to have to go grab the pitcher. Hang on. Okay, check. All right, so this keg should be at 0 PSI because I just filled it with water. We're going to tap it. I'm going to connect the beer coupler, lock it in place. I do not have the CO2 tank on yet, so we will make sure that's off. Faucet's closed. We're going to open the tank all the way. Okay, this is off. This is all the way down. And so now I'm going to turn my PSI gauge up. And it's not going anywhere because I got it shut off here, but we're going to turn it to 25 PSI. And now that everything's connected, we are going to open up this and it will, since we've got this at 25 PSI, my regulator will pressurize this to 25 PSI. And we can hear it. We can hear it go. Okay, and we'll let it equalize. Okay, it's just a little bit low, so we're going to turn it up just a touch. Okay, we're at 25 PSI. There's no ice in here. There's nothing in here, so this is just water. But if I open this, we should just get water. Okay, no water in the system, so it's running. All right, so now I've poured beer all day long and I'm at the end of my event and I need to take this back down to 10 PSI. So if I just uncouple this now and then turn it, it's gonna stay at 30 PSI or 25 PSI. So a little regulator info. Regulators and CO2 can add pressure to kegs. It cannot remove it. So if I turn this all the way down, okay, so my regulator's off and it's not providing CO2 anymore, I'm gonna shut it off. The only way to get the pressure out of here is to pull the relief valve on the beer coupler here. All right, so I'm gonna pull this little ring on the side of the coupler and it's gonna let all of the gas out. We're gonna let it all out completely. Okay, so now essentially this is back down to 0. And now we're gonna go back to our regulator and we're gonna turn it up to 10. And I'm gonna turn the gas back on. Okay, I can still hear it. I can still hear it filling and equalizing. Right? I'm gonna turn it up just a touch, so now we're at 10 psi. Right, I'm gonna give it a minute because I can still hear it running. So now my regulator's at 10 psi because it's measuring the pressure that's inside the keg. That's it. I'm gonna turn the CO2 off. I'm gonna uncouple the beer. Okay, and now I have a keg sitting at 10 psi, and so that's a good storage pressure for beer, okay, or anything carbonated. And that's generally like keeps it at like 2.5 volumes of CO2 depending on the temperature that it is, right? So if you want to learn more, I've got a draft beer workshop that's available that you can watch. It's a long video if you want to dive deep into pressure and draft systems and stuff like that. But so that's how you store a keg at the end of the day. And yeah, if you have any questions, support@coldbreakusa.com.